Let's talk about healing and performance. Now you have your 8 essentials to healing and performance. What are those?
Yeah. So this is kind of big, and this is I got a big ass like 3x5 poster in my office because I kept talking about these things. Now, where are these 8 essentials? I invented nothing. I literally invented nothing. I don't claim to invent anything, but people who heal these radical remissions, like, I'm fascinated by them. Like, what does it take to heal yourself from these really extreme things that you've heard aren't possible by the allopathic method? And you hear these stories repeatedly, and you go in and you listen to them. You follow the Joe Dispenzas, you follow the Heal documentary, you follow these things. I love talking to people over 90, and I always ask them, I trick them with the question. I'm like, hey, what's the secret to being, that level? And they always like look at you. It'd be like asking Tom Brady, like, what's the secret to being great? And it's like, what? And they're like, what are you talking about? I don't know. But everyone has a different thing.
Yeah.
And it would always come around, having seen a plethora of injuries and all of them resolve in different ways per the person. It was like, it really, this is what triggered the essentials to healing, because I kept hearing these essential oils. That's great. But I was like, are they really essential? No. Like, what do we need in life? Like, truly, what do we need? And I'm like, God, let me see. And so I started to like pull apart all these cases and look at what do we need that's the foundation for everything. And I came up with these 8. They're kind of ranked in order of importance, but they're also like quantum, where you draw them in a circle or like a 3-dimensional, like whatever. It's just this like orb. Okay. First, a belief in something greater than yourself. Just you believing that there is this force inside you, this power inside you that has your best interests in mind. We can get into religion, spirituality. It doesn't matter. Just something greater than man, greater than you. Number 2, purpose. Without getting in, it could be something as small as getting out of bed, making coffee, going back to bed. For some people, that was a friggin' solid day. Yep. It could be something as grand as, closing a deal, closing a business deal, or getting a new location, moving back with your parents, like some sort of thing. You need some reason. Number 3, your relationships. And this is, I've trimmed away, and I'd say it trimmed away the fat, but I happen to think fat is amazing. So I don't say trim the fat away, but like trim the funky part.
The excess.
Trim the excess.
Whatever the excess is.
And so it was those relationships that just they weren't supportive of your beliefs and your purpose, or they weren't those ones that put that mirror in front of your face and challenge you and sting you a little bit to be better. They're the ones, the voices of truth. So those relationships, and again, you and I have a relationship right now because we connected, like a crossing guard, a waitress, like there's those relationships all the time. Any exchange you have with a human. Number 4, sleep, naps. Number 5, breath, meditation, prayer. Number 6, natural light. I would say sunlight, which it is, but I was in Chicago for 14 years and it's okay. I was like, you know what? It's just natural light. Just get your ass outside.
Yeah, dude. Like that's
I know, man.
Where I'm at is that's why you're laughing. And tell my wife all the time, why do we live here? Like, why do we live here? And it's just about, we only live here because of the village.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, it's important, right? Like that is important. And like you guys make it, that's why I was in Libertyville, Lake Bluff, like that area up there. And it was just like, the sun is over the clouds. I'm like, no, the sun's above the clouds. I'm still going to expose myself, but it's that natural light. A client of mine dropped this on me and I was like, that's brilliant. He goes, we got to get on the other side of the window. And I was like, wow, that was powerful, man. I'm like, you come up with that? He's like, yeah, I just came up with it just now. I'm like, all right. So we got to get on the other side of the window. Number 7, nourishment, whatever that is. It's just nourishing yourself with nutrients, whatever your approach is. Number 8, movement. And it literally is, I do it daily. I want people to literally sit and be vulnerable and authentic and honest in those 8. Where do you score? And everybody knows what's good, what's bad for them. I mean, if we really get honest with ourselves, we know that guy's not a good relationship for me, or that food isn't as ideal, but it's still okay because I'm happy when I eat it. And it's just like a treat. I'm not I'm not guilt. There's no shame. I could move a little more. Yes, I could. You know what I mean? There's, if we're honest, you'll see the red flags. We make attempts. And sometimes one of those 8 is more important during a certain moment, and it kind of fluctuates, right? Like it may be a relationship challenge that day, or maybe a spiritual challenge that day, or maybe I don't know what it is. But those 8 are literally the premise of what I found that holds consistent with radical remissions, these healing stories, healthy, and I don't want to say longevity, but just really high burning lives, you know, because we could both go out tomorrow. I'm going out here, man.
Right.
You know, go out on a freaking high note. But I have it. It scares people because it's on my wall, and everybody wants the exercise and they want the nutrition. And I'm like, okay, that's the easy part. Those are 7 and 8. You know, it's important because those allow the others, because the others are going to get gnarly.